The Puller Pro liquidation is going fantastic. And as a matter of fact, y'all have almost strapped us of the stubby size 2200 kV. But today I don't actually want to talk about the Puller Pro liquidation. I want to talk about what's coming next. When I made the video about that, I said, hey, we're working on some new products and I'd like to roll this into the new products. And then we came out with the SHV 650 LP. And I'm here to tell you that this is not actually the new product that I am building equity for. Nope. It is a new product that got released, but it just happened to come about the same time. So what is it that I'm actually working on? I don't know if I should tell you or not, but I really want to tell you that it's not this, at least. So what is it? Well, it is another motor. It is another motor, and y'all are getting lots of Puller Pros. Like I said, the 2200 in the stubby size seems to be the most popular, or at least what we had the least amount of inventory of, but all the rest of them we still have plenty in the catalog. So although the sale won't last forever and our inventory don't last forever, it's something that you should just go to the website and get when you can. And I'm not saying like, oh, you got 24 hours, like go now, do it. Although, yeah, maybe I should. You got 24 hours, go now, do it. But yeah, it'll probably be there a little longer than that. So should I show you? It's a tough one. I'll show you something. How about that? I'll just show you something. This motor right here. New, powerful, small. It is some custom electronics that I'm working on. The electromagnetics are all mine, which means that it is not off the shelf. And a lot of motors in the past we have used either, well, partially off the shelf. A lot of times I'll use a stator, well, pretty much every time I'll use a stator that is available, and then I will make the magnetic section of that fit in a way that I want it to perform. So I'll make the detent torque higher or lower depending on what we're going for, the air gap, etc., etc. On a new motor that I may or may not be coming out with and have been working on for over a year, I didn't want to do that anymore. As I talked about in a previous video about back iron, there is very specific ratios when you design a motor for the back iron versus the leg width versus the other back iron. And this is very important for making the motor do what you want it to do. And then we also have the aspect ratio of the rotor. And the aspect ratio of the rotor depends or determines whether or not this is going to be an RPM-based motor or a torque-based motor. A smaller rotor, we can fit more copper into there because the rotor is smaller, but you can spend more RPMs, and even though you don't have a whole lot of magnets to work with, you can create lots and lots of power through this extra RPM, and because your motor runs extremely efficient because it has lots of copper to work with. So our terminal resistance is very low on that. They don't make a lot of copper losses. The other way to do it is with the large rotor. So you end up having more magnet in the motor and less copper. Now what this will give you with the larger rotor, you get more torque density out of it, and you can get a lot of torque density out of it this way. But you end up sacrificing your RPM of the rotor, and you also end up sacrificing the amount of copper that you put into it, right? So for any given kV, our terminal resistance is going to end up being higher. So for higher loads, you have more copper losses, it makes more heat in the motor. So it's this trade-off, right? Now, I'm a crawler, so what am I going to want? I'm not going to want the RPM style, I'm going to want the torque style of a motor. So in this new motor, stator and rotor specifically that I've been designing, I optimized for torque density. I also optimized for very smooth startup with a sensorless design. Sensored is easy enough to throw into the back end of motors at this point. So as you may imagine from what I'm saying, it is a very, very, very large rotor. It's the largest rotor that I've ever designed in a 540 can if I ignore a revolver, because the revolver has the largest rotor that you can fit in a 540 can because it's on the outside, as you can see here. That's why revolvers are so torque dense. But as far as efficiency and the ability to, let's say, get into muck and mud and everything, the end runner does have a lot of advantages. And if it is enough torque, then the end runner can work. So what I may or may not have been working on this past year and have gone through 5 different magnetic variations on, trying to find the perfect combination of what exactly that I want. I may or may not have done that. What we have maybe come up with is an end runner that is extremely torque dense, extremely small, and it is all my magnetic designs. So the entire point of this video is that what I am actually rolling into via the Polar Pro sales is the tooling for a new stator. And this isn't going to go into any specific motor, although there are some specific motors that it will go into. But all that I'm saying is that I may or may not have designed our own magnetics that nobody else in the world is going to have unless I license it to them. And it so far may or may not be testing extremely well. And I know I'm gray manning you really hard on this, but it's been a really fun project, and I really want to tell you more about it, but I'm not going to say too much other than I've been working, and I've been working very hard and trying to come up with the next variation of motor that's going to work with the next variations of ESCs, because for a really long time we've been limited on the ESCs, and that technology has prevented me from going any further with end runners in particular. So once AM32 got to a point that I felt like it was really solid and of course widely accepted in the industry and people saw what benefits that it had, now I can go back, could, maybe did, maybe didn't, go back and redesign all these magnetics that I've been working on for years and just do something completely different at this point. So something that works really good with AM32, has extremely good hold and drag brake, very good torque density, extremely smooth control on startup, and also really efficient. All of these things. It's easy to do when you're designing your own stator, because when you design your own stator, you can make it do exactly what you want, and you're not working with something that's more or less off the shelf to where the back iron and the leg isn't specifically tuned for things, because you can either tune it for, let's say, like a 4-pole when you have distributed windings, or you can tune it for like a 10-pole or a 12-pole or 14-pole where you have concentrated windings, and it's a completely different stator design, and you cannot make a stator design that works well for both. You can make one in the middle that works okay for both, but you're leaving a lot on the table by doing that. And so everything that we've worked with in the past has either been tuned for 4-pole because that's what it is, or it's been tuned for using either. And it's great to be able to do that, and it helps lower the cost to be able to do that, but I'm tired of those compromises. And it's been fine that all of our stuff works just fine with those off-the-shelf resources that we had, but it's at a point now to where it's time to step up the game and get some custom tooling. And that's really what this is about, custom tooling. Something that's going to be mine, all mine, that I'm really excited about, thanks to our Polar Pro liquidation. So the point of this is that if you want to continue helping us get some Polar Pros, let your friends know about them. They're great motors, but I have some projects in the works, maybe, maybe not, that are really going to be able to take advantage of this. And I am ready. We are ready now. I think on however many magnetic variations I've done, I've nailed it. Maybe I've nailed it. I'm not going to say yes or no on this. I'm going to be as wishy-washy as possible, but as you can tell, I'm pretty excited about the project, and it has gotten to a point to where I feel comfortable at talking about it. Now, how long is it going to take to come to market something like this? Oh, geez. If I'm lucky, we're still 3 months out, because we do have to produce the actual tooling. We've been doing laser laminations up to this point. The tooling for that takes some time. Then we have to punch out all the stators and the rotors from that, and then we have to actually make the motors. So 3 months if we're lucky, probably more like 4, 5, 6 months. That's generally how it goes. So there we go. I didn't talk about a lot, and I talked about a lot at the same time. If you got any questions about this project, you can leave your comment down below, and I will probably not tell you more about it. But yeah, because I don't even have a project. I don't know what you're talking about. Whew, yeah, it's I can neither confirm nor deny anything right now. But in the meantime, we really appreciate your support. I've let you know what to do if you want to continue on this support of some project that I may or may not be working on. All right, that's enough wishy-washy. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day. You've made it to the end of the video. Hopefully that means you liked what you saw. If you want to help out the channel, you can like, subscribe, and definitely comment down below. We would like to hear new ideas from you, so be sure you let us know what you'd like to see. There are some other suggestions probably floating by my head right now that you can check out, and otherwise we appreciate your support and your help growing the channel.